What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Lamont's Gym and Custom Knives Show, the number 3 podcast. Today's show is going to be a little bit more serious than normal. I know we've been having a little bit of fun the last couple of weeks with the news and just everyday goings on. But excuse me. I did watch a lot of news yesterday, and there's a lot of concerning things going on. So first, let me say, to individuals who, if you have religious faith, if you have political conviction or loyalty, especially on the conservative side, if you can, get out of these liberal states, get out of these liberal cities. I learned yesterday in California and Los Angeles, and I hope I start back taking notes on my more serious podcast. In Los Angeles, the city council voted unanimously that the LAPD can't pull any vehicle over for expired tags, no tags, broken tail light, broken headlight, any vehicle or motor vehicle violation. Can't do it. Now, as a former law enforcement officer, that would infuriate me. But you know what? When it comes to these municipalities, the city council and the mayor, they are the governing body. So they pretty much have to go by what their policies say. That don't mean that Los Angeles County and surrounding counties can't pull these vehicles over. But within the city limits of Los Angeles, they cannot pull them over for any motor vehicle violation. Now, this is why I say if you got any type of religious affiliation, political affiliation, get the hell out of Los Angeles. Get the hell out of these liberal cities. You may have a mass murderer just kill 10 people with no tags on his car. That vehicle cannot be pulled over. Now, if they have identified this individual in this certain vehicle, I'm pretty sure that they have to do what they got to do. But just, you on a beat, driving down Sunset Boulevard, see a vehicle with no tag on it, can't pull them over. That's asinine. Y'all, we can sit here and we do criticize these mentally ill people. We criticize them, we mock them, we ridicule them, and that's understandable. But I think what we need to do is pray for these people. And I know I could get pushed back on that because they know what they're doing. This is intentional. This is evil. But in my opinion, we have to say a prayer for them to somehow God and his love and his grace could get inside these people's mind, inside these people's heart. Because these people are radical. They're insane. And I feel for the individuals in Los Angeles that can't escape it. They can't escape this evil. And listen, you know, Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, has been in the news for the past couple of years, with the wildfires and all of that DEI garbage and sanctuary city and the getting the illegals up out of there. But y'all got to realize this woman is a communist. I'm not calling her that. That is what she is. She went to the communist school in Cuba and Tennessee to get that communist training. And this is what people, just your average day Joe, don't understand. I don't want to get off in the rant, but I heard a podcast, well, actually, a collaboration yesterday with a bunch of people, and 9 people on the panel out of 10 don't get politics. They don't get religion and politics. So therefore, in my opinion, I don't need to hear you talk about it if you don't understand it. This woman and many like her, these communist Marxists, they don't compete for power. Did you understand what I just said? They don't compete for power. They get power and they dominate and they ruin an individual like me. No, but they can't ruin me. But what I mean by that, people who just want to get up and go to work and provide for their families, they ruin their livelihoods. They ruin their lives. I'm not in Los Angeles. I'm not in California. Never will be. So they can't touch me. But I am in a free state. My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state of Alabama. And that's going to be my next segue, perfect segue into my next story. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the video of that clown, insane individual in I think it's with the Tennessee State House, member of the Tennessee State Congress, with an afro, want to be a dime store Malcolm X. Cussing the state trooper out, acting a complete fool. I think his brother got arrested because they're redistricting mainly everywhere, but mainly here in the South is going to be the biggest difference. And these people, remember what I said, Marxists don't compete for power. These people are about to lose the little power they got. Because the elections from now on, hopefully, at least in my lifetime, they'll be fair. Just because they won't be little squiggly lines throughout a state. Oh, well, these people are poor and black and they can't read and drive. We got to get them representation. And when that representation, whether it be in South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, has always been black leftist Marxists. But see, now you take away all this garbage and you have these fair elections. You're going to have individuals who are going to truly represent them. And not these Marxists who only represent themselves. They do not compete for power. Alabama's redrawing. I think it's a conflict right now. I heard Senator Tommy Tuberville say, listen, don't give these Marxists anything, because I think they want to leave a district down in the Black Belt for Terry Sewell. Or so, yeah, because they taking one away in Mobile. No, get all of them. Let all of Alabama be free and represented by the people's choice, or have representation by the people's choice. I love Alabama. I'm loving Tennessee and Mississippi more and more every day. I didn't think Tennessee had it in them. Listen, when it comes to Tennessee, you have had a lot of leftists, a lot of Marxists to leave California, Washington, Oregon, Boston, New York, and they all moved to Nashville. Nashville's a beautiful city. But Nashville is compromised, pretty much like Birmingham, Atlanta, Memphis. They're compromised by these Marxists. But the state of Tennessee itself is not. And they're showing it. There won't be no racist black districts. If that's not the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life, oh, you're going to give these people special representation because they live in black districts. No, it's one district. It's the state of Tennessee. Now, someone in Northwest Tennessee don't have the same values as somebody who live in Southeast Tennessee. If you know anything of the geography of this state, oh boy, it's almost like Alabama and Texas. And those are, well, I guess you could say Georgia. You know, Georgia and Alabama and Texas, we have Gulf Coast counties and cities. We're on the ocean. We're on the Gulf of America. But yet, we have some of the most mountainous regions in the country. You know, if you go to North Georgia, North Alabama, hell, I'm just a hop and a skip away from the tallest point here in Alabama in Mount Cheaha. Matter of fact, I'm on it. And you know, same with Texas. Texas has got deserts, they got forests, they got Gulf Coast regions, and they got mountainous regions. In the state of Tennessee, you go to East Tennessee, Southeast, Northeast, them some of the tallest mountains in the country. You know, going into North Carolina, Cherokee, North Carolina. But you go to Northwest and Southwest Tennessee, you know, pretty much the Mississippi River. So they got you got two different dynamics in the state of Tennessee, and all of them needs certain representation, but for their certain interest. And I thank God, Tennessee. Thank God you're doing it. Tennessee and Louisiana and Florida and Mississippi are doing what I thought Georgia would do. Georgia has been compromised so bad. The city of Atlanta, which is one of the largest cities in the country, has spread so far that you know everybody look at the metro Atlanta. I think it's 7 or 8 counties of the metro Atlanta. But in my opinion, it done dipped down even further than that. You know, I know Macon is in the middle or going south in Georgia, but you got these Marxists who have reached way down there in Macon. Maybe it always been that way. I don't know. But listen, thank God for Tennessee. Thank God for Louisiana. Thank God for my beautiful state of Alabama. The redistricting in the South has got to be an awakening for these racist, Marxist, communist, socialist, black and white. It's got to be an awakening. Take the power away from these people and never let them have it again. Now, they gonna camouflage themselves as, you know, in the future, watch it, and you'll hear it from me first. They're going to camouflage themselves as in the future as moderates and pro-American and all this. But once they get that power, you're gonna see their true selves. Don't let these people in power ever again. That's why one of the greatest things about today's media, about today's technology, is we know who these people are. We just do, and hopefully they can never hurt this country and their communities ever again. Lastly, y'all, I'm gonna mention this. And let me before I even get into this last story, let me just say this. I mentioned a lot of guys on this podcast. You know, like Vince Everett Ellison and Jason Whitlock and you know, a bunch of good ministers, good pastors, good bishops, and other men who are out there on that fight every single day. And listen, I hate the fact that I can't name them all. But you go on my channel on YouTube, Lamont's Gym and Custom Knives, the #3 podcast, and you will see the people I follow. And these are the people who have made it possible for my next story. So it came out yesterday, some numbers on CNN. about President Trump's approval rating was down, probably the lowest it's ever been. But within the black community, it's higher than it's ever been. And that's mainly because of black men. Black men are, and some black women, are leaving the Democratic Party, leaving the Socialist Communist Party. And it's got a lot to do with these liberal values: abortion, illegals, transitioning your children, drag queens, that type of thing. Black folks, in my opinion, should have never been with our religious convictions and our love for the Lord. Black folks should have never been involved with this party. That's why you hear a lot of people talk about the civil rights movement and these communists, not blackmailing, but basically paying these pulpit pimps. And I think President Johnson, who said, he'll have niggas voting Democrat for the next 200 years. That's where, I don't know if it started there, but I do know for a fact that a lot of what's believed in today's world from black folks when it comes to the Democratic Party came from that era. And black men and some black women are leaving that. They're not necessarily turning Republican or, going independent or whatever. But they're leaving the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party does not have the values of black folks. And I don't care if you're black in Georgia or black in California. They just don't have the same values. You got these puppets who are gonna tell you different. But down here, and everywhere, we go to church. We praise God. We come home, we cook a big Sunday meal, get the family together, go out there and tell a whole bunch of lies. But we do not go along with this garbage of transitioning your child. If you got a gay member in your family, somebody's just gay. Who gives a damn? Who cares? But when it becomes part of their ideology, part of who they are, it's dangerous. And black folks are leaving that. And thank God. Thank God. Anyway, y'all, I appreciate you listening to me. I love you. I appreciate you. And please just take heed of this podcast. Share it with people. Talk about it with people. A lot of people don't realize, I think black folks represents less than 12% of this country. But and Hispanics has taken over that the highest populated minority. But that don't mean we don't have a voice. I have a conservative voice. Not a black conservative voice, but a conservative Christian voice. And that's what this platform is all about. I love you and I appreciate you. And as always, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, you guys stay blessed. And I'll see you next time.